Look, it's hard not to talk about your team, your old team. Do you still call them your team?
Yeah, I do still love my old team. And so, for a period there that you retire and you move on, and I'm trying to be very neutral in my media roles, but it's very hard watching what I've watched for a period of time now. It's 2 decades since we've won a final, so it's been a really hard watch. 2004, so 22 years ago.
How do you get up and about after a number like that last night?
As a player, it's very difficult. Like you turn up you feel sick, to be honest, for a couple of days. You have a sickness in your stomach, and it's really critical how the coach handles it, because you walk in there and you're in the lecture theatre and you're watching yourself do things that you're disappointed in and you're embarrassed about that's about to come. And so, it's the worst part, and it's the part I enjoy not having to do now. And I'm a coach now of Haileybury College, and I'm conscious of what I used to feel like when I didn't play well, and what the coach, how he delivered a message, because you go, at least we got through that now and we can move forward. So you look forward to getting through Monday, and then come Tuesday, you feel better about yourself and each other, that you've got a pathway forward to try and work on. And you want 2 or 3 things. You don't want to hear 10, 12 things what you did poorly. You want the coach to focus on 2 or 3 and work towards that. And that's all they need to look at right now. And
do you like a compliment sandwich, or is a compliment sandwich not always going to be possible, where it's the compliment and then the meaty bit is the problem in the middle? Yeah,
like you'd watch your own individual tape as well with your coaches. So you watch yourself, but then you watch it broadly as a team as well. So you don't want to be lied to. You understand how you went, and so you don't want them to sugarcoat it. You want them to be honest, not brutal. So Kevin Sheedy was great that he could be really firm and strong. But he'd sometimes say to me, hey, I was really disappointed with you on the weekend, but you're a great player and you're going to be my best player next week. So and he'd do things that you'd feel pretty good after you spoke to him, and that's the art of coaching.
I guess you don't really think about it from that perspective. People right outside the footy world, that sitting down and watching all of that back, like you think fans are furious enough and they've walked out early and they're betrayed and they're let down and they're really emotional about it, but I have to sit and, whip yourselves for what you've done wrong.
Well, it's 2 hours. You play 2 hours on a weekend, but then the rest of it you'd be at the club for 20 to 30 hours. So that's filled with vision, recovery. So there's a lot of thinking to do. I used to stare at the ceiling many a night, Heidi, thinking, why did I do this? Why did I do that?
But then you can't do anything. I feel bad enough if I've done a terrible throw to an ad break. Like, I couldn't be doing that.
And that's a similar. It's your what you do, and it's the same. Like and that's the same as us. But I got better as I got older, not to try and carry. I used to be down on myself till Wednesday. If I played poorly, and if I played well, I'd say I've got to do that again next week. So I stopped enjoying the game. I lost my love for the game. It was all I ever wanted to do. But once I finally got to the top level, it became the fear of failure and the anxiety all got to me a fair bit, and I didn't enjoy it like I wanted to. So now I try and tell young players, if they play well or they do well, just enjoy it for the next 24, 48 hours, because it's very difficult to be at the top of your game.
Is a result like that Brisbane Essendon game enough to make James Hird look even more like a hero, like the man who can ride in on the white steed and lead the team out?
I think that Essendon are pretty clear and making it clear, not publicly but privately, that this is going to be a process which starts in the next few days, where people will start being interviewed, and it's not James Hird's job. It's going to be a process, and he understands that too, James. James is not saying that, but it's a process where they will interview. They're going to speak to up to 8 to 10 people in the next week to 2 weeks, and then after that they'll narrow it down to 3 or 4, and it's a genuine process. It's
is
not.
It,
I think it is. I think it is.
There's one name at the top of the whiteboard.
I think for the supporters there is, but internally they're not just saying it's James Hird's job, and I do believe they'll go through that process, because you just never know what you're going to uncover in that. And I think Stephen King's doing an amazing job at Melbourne, so you can't go in to a process. It's just
discounting people. Yeah, and you did not put an application in.
Sorry,
no. It's a slab for the team.
Apologies about that. No, I didn't. No, I as I said, I love coaching at a lower level, but never wanted to get into it full time.
Injury carnage this weekend, right?
And to some star players too. So they're players that can't be replaced. So Jeremy Cameron at Geelong, they've lost 5 of their last 6, and he wasn't in great form, Jeremy. As a forward, he's had broke his arm in last year's grand final. He's been having nerve pain.
Oh, is it the same arm he did?
Same arm, but then he's gone and done the other arm this week. So they played him in the back line. So they thought we'll try and get him into form. So they put him in the back line. He was going okay, and they're up by 38, 39 points, looking like they were going to win. And then Clayton Oliver hit him with a big bump, and he's done his shoulder, and he's having surgery. He's out for 6 weeks. So touch and go whether he gets back. Probably results will depend on whether he plays again. And then Zach Butters, it's an injury called syndesmosis. I'd never heard of it when I was playing, but
what is that?
Yeah, sort of an ankle where you sort of your leg gets caught up underneath you, and he's
like you hyperextend or underextend.
He got his ankle just. I don't know how they don't break them, but it's nearly worse having the syndesmosis where it jams and. It can miss up to 2 to 3 months.
Was it like just jamming hard, or you have to unwedge it, or like
it's sort of
something?
Once you're out of he just got sort of limped off the ground, but it's just the type of injury that just takes so long for you to get over. It ended Dane Swan's career, so they say he's hoping to get back to play one last game, which would probably be his last game for Port Adelaide
before he goes to.
Many think the Western Bulldogs with Geelong an outside chance.
I thought I heard Collingwood.
No, that's Lachie Neale. I don't know.
That is Lachie Neale.
Yeah. Yep.
So Geelong lost 5 out of 6.
Yeah.
Jez are gone. Are they just year over?
Well, they've got a good run in the next 6 weeks. So they played Thursday night against St Kilda, which should be a good test for them. If they can't beat St Kilda, I would definitely say season over. So they've got a 6-week stretch. If they're any good, they should win 5 or 6 of them. But I don't see them beating the top 4 sides this season.
Damien Hardwick's reviewing the season now, I think. Is he declaring, what's the opposite of victory? Declaring defeat, running up the white flag?
Let's have a listen to Damien Hardwick post-match on the weekend.
We look at last year, they were one of the best midfields in the competition, and this year we're well off it. It's my job to sit there and find out why. Sort of thing. I've failed at that at the moment. So got to figure out, and end of the day we've got 6 weeks. This year's effectively gone. What we've got to do is forge our way forward about what we want ourselves to look like for next year, from my point of view. So the challenge is firmly set there for the playing group, who we want to be.
We debated this on the Sunday Footy Show. I said he's a realist. He understands they're not a premiership chance. They've just lost 7 in a row. The rest of the panel were disappointed in saying, how does a coach speak like that? They're 1 game out of the 10, and there's still 6 games to go, so they can certainly do it. And then having a think about it, I think you're talking to your players, so I would say maybe you shouldn't speak like that publicly. He's being honest, and we love honesty, but how are the players going to get up when they think, our coach thinks we've got no chance? So
how do you run out with a sense of enthusiasm and confidence next week?
When you go, deep down, our coach has said we've got to look to next year. So there's something not quite right there. They're far better than what they're showing.
Yeah.
But it's come down. A lot of people think there are a lot of talent who don't play team football or for each other. But I wonder if there's more than that.
Too many narcissists on the one team.
I know. Yeah, there's too many chasing the footy and not willing to defend.
All right, we've got a call for you, Bruce. Go ahead, Bruce.
G'day, you two. Hey, Lloydie.
Bruce.
It comes down to the players, mate. They're getting paid well. Their skills are poor. The coach can only tell them what to do, mate. But if they can't spot each other up, run, watch all the other teams, mate. They just handball, run down the ground in numbers. You know what I'm saying?
What team are we talking about here?
The players have a look in the mirror.
The Bombers?
You reckon, or what?
You on about the Bombers, Bruce?
or across the board?
No, I'm saying the Bombers, mate.
Yeah, of course. I think that as the whole club, yes, the coaching, development of those players. But it's hard to name a player who's enhanced themselves at the Bombers this year. So that sort of, it's. I agree with you. It's on the senior players in particular, like Zach Merritt. His mind looks elsewhere. Which it is elsewhere. He'll be playing somewhere else. Bloke like Jordan Ridley doesn't want to be there, so he hasn't played very well. Andrew McGrath, the captain, hasn't played well at all. So I agree on the senior players haven't performed at all at the club.
Should Merritt have been let go last year? Like he wanted out, didn't he? Pretty clearly.
I'm big on that, Heidi, that once a player doesn't want to be there, like the year before was Oliver and Petrarca, they held on to them and they still leave anyway. It'll be the same with Merritt. But the club just felt that they weren't getting what they deserved, but they'll probably get less now this time around when he decides to leave. So I think it's probably a good lesson that if a player doesn't want to be there, you're best to let them go.
Let them go and just, cut your losses. Thanks for the call, Bruce. Here's a stat from Jade for you, Lloydie. Things going the way they are at the moment, by the end of October, an American football team will have won more games at the MCG than Essendon have in the last 12 months. That feels brutal now that I reach the end of it.
1 win in 30 games for the Bombers over the last couple of years.
Tell me, how do you stay warm out there on the field when it is midwinter, pouring with rain, icy cold?
Yes.
This is Sam Mitchell, Hawthorn coach, talking about after the game between the Hawks and Carlton on, Saturday night, when it was just hideous.
They embraced it. They were freezing. At half time, I haven't seen a group of players. We just did a standing meeting for 30 seconds. They'd all been in the shower, getting their blood back into their hands and their feet and changing their jumpers. And it was completely unusual. Everything about tonight was quite unusual. So how they handled that was, your guess was as good as mine. I had no idea how we would come out in the second half because it was just so different. But showed a bit of character.
I played one game at Waverley Park against the West Coast Eagles. It would have had to have been, 7, 8 degrees.
Yeah.
And it was in the era where you'd start on the bench and sometimes you just never knew when you were going to get on. So it got to 3/4 time and I still hadn't had a run yet. And,
do you have a little blankie on your legs or anything?
Yeah, I had the blankets, tracksuit tops, everything I could find. I just kept sitting there waiting, and he just wouldn't put me on and just absolutely shivering. I only wore a long sleeve twice in my career. That was one day I thought, but get me a long sleeve. Just give me anything that I could get to get warm. And he put me on for the last quarter. I could hardly even move my limbs because I'd sat there for so long under sheets. So it wasn't a good day, that one.
Sheets. Yeah. Is it good to play in the long sleeves or does it make you gross, colder and damper, especially when it's raining?
That's right. So I didn't. I was of the view, I don't know, my dad used to say to me, short sleeves. Okay, one time I wanted to wear a glove. He said, no gloves. No gloves. So my dad taught me, no, short sleeves, none of that. Keep your socks up, jumper tucked in. So that stuck with me forever. So, I think, but James Hird loved it. Jimmy Bartell, who's great on this station, loved the long sleeve.
Yeah.
And it's more a superstitious type thing more than
a
warmth type thing. Players just feel comfortable in certain scenarios rather than a warmth.
A superstition where it's if I wear this long sleeve on this day or if I wear it every day?
Every all game, the time, For majority, you either wear the long or the short.
How do you warm back up? I mean, I just figure you're running around the whole time. You can't be getting that cold.
Yeah, it's better being out there than actually in the stands. So I admired the people who went. They said 70,000 were there. I didn't see 70,000 there. I saw a lot of empty seats on the night.
They're all tucked in underneath the stands.
Maybe they were all bunched up together. It's warmer being out there playing, I think, than sitting there doing nothing.
Doing nothing at all. Yeah, just losing all the feeling in your fingers and toes and trying to get it back in. Warm shower at half time. Not always an option. What's your best bet? Comfort food. I just need a bowl of mashed potato. I think I'd be all right. Warm mash. Got a tip for this weekend? Got a pick of a game we should keep an eye out for?
I'll have a look at that. Thursday night, obviously we've got Geelong v St Kilda, so it's a big one for them. Sydney play the Adelaide Crows Friday night, so it's like a top 4 clash for those two clubs. I like Sydney because it's at home in that one. Collingwood Carlton.
That's
massive.
The big one.
That's the big
huge,
one. So I think Collingwood are more likely to make the 10 more so than Carlton. So Carlton was shown up by Hawthorn on the weekend.
Oh, but they've had a pretty good run.
They have had a great run. So they're the majority of games. And I think Brisbane are the team that's flying now. And look, the main challenger to Fremantle.
I saw a broken football club on the weekend. That's in the
Bombers?
Yeah. And it made me think with James Hird. Now, James, I think, announced that he was keen to coach the club a month ago. And my people I know who barracked for Essendon at the time, it was probably 50-50.
Yes.
It's not anymore.
He's got the job.
I'm not saying he's got the job.
Someone told me yesterday.
Oh, okay. Well, you've heard that. To me, it's 80-20. And a couple of blokes who were really, my brother being one and Liam, a good mate, being another, said, no way do we want James Hird back at that club. They've changed their mind. It's a broken football club that needs fixing in all parts of the club. And James is the person, because there's such love for him.
Yep.
And obviously, that was tarnished in the eyes of some. But it's bigger than that now. And they need everyone to be, from the person who makes the salad rolls to the boot stutter, if there is such a person anymore, through to the CEO, and everyone needs to be on board, and James is the person who can bring them with him.
Well, more than a decade ago, the advice from AFL to Melbourne was you have to get outsiders to get this joint right. Right? You've got to get outsiders to make this joint right.
So your point being?
My point being that if you have insiders on a club that needs to be repaired, it makes it really tough.
So James Hurd's is
an insider.
Okay, so you're saying don't go with a person who's come from Essendon in the background.
What I'm saying is the AFL's advice to Melbourne was don't get insiders, get outsiders. So I'm just relaying that advice is potentially right for Essendon.
Okay, I don't quite get that, but you're saying, to me, James Hurd should be back at Essendon as coach. Roscoe's saying he's got the job, and something has to happen, because it's sad watching Essendon play. I don't take any enjoyment in that. Alternatively, you have Melbourne, who are just, it's such an exciting journey, what's happened there. And I don't think Max Gawn's played a bad game this year. He won't win the Brownlow medal because Ruckman sadly don't anymore. But what he has done this year, he's entered when you talk about the greatest Melbourne players ever, and I'm a historian, so I go back to either Warren Smith or Jack Mueller or Robbie Flower, Ron Barassi and Max Gawn. They're the five.
Right.
And whatever order you put them in, and his journey hasn't finished yet because he's playing as well as he's ever played this year.